George, today in preparation for the assent of the Juvenile Justice Bill that was just passed in the court, the RCC, the Rights of the Child Commission here in Queenstown, hosted a meeting, a press conference, and right off the bat, Mr. Amar Pandey, who is the CEO for the organization, he said that Guyana has long departed from the norms as it relates to the rights of children.
In Guyana, for many years, we have had a system of juvenile justice that invariably departs from the spirit and intent of those conventions and human rights instruments. The right to a fair and speedy trial is a fundamental component of the jurisprudence of modern democratic Commonwealth countries. As you know, the Sixth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution speaks to the right to a fair and speedy trial. This is not something that we should tinker with or we should lapse with. We found out in 2015 an overwhelming majority of the children detained at the holding center were denied their right to legal representation in gross violation of the Convention on the Rights of the Child.
He said that the RCC has been sourcing lawyers through the legal aid system to assist with those children who have no representation.
UNICEF provided funding to the Guyana Legal Aid Clinic, and out of that arrangement, we have lawyers even today now visiting the Sophia Juvenile Holding Center, the New Opportunity Corps, even Timeri and New Amsterdam prisons.
We had a case of a now 19-year-old young man, Ian, who was in the system for 7 years without any representation. Ian talked about being very frustrated. He talked of the fact that he felt as though he was going mad, as though he was becoming insane.
My experience, as I mentioned yesterday, in prison, incarceration as a whole, it wasn't pleasant at all. It was very frustrating knowing that you're waiting on trial for so long. Those are some of the components in my experience that really sometimes made me, like, I want to run crazy or go insane. My age has gone up. I'm 19 years now. It is impossible for me to restart my education from a secondary level. These experiences while I had in prison, I wouldn't like to any other child in Guyana or anywhere in the world to experience because it's not conducive.
Ms. Sylvia Fouet, who is the UNICEF representative here in Guyana, when she spoke, she addressed the issue that the treatment of children in Guyana, those children who are in detention, is for the most part not acceptable.
Also the importance of every child should be represented, but also the case should be done quickly, and that's also why we also calling the government of Guyana to also bring what we call a youth court. Detention should be the last resort, and there's other ways, and I think this is where we're also engaging now with the government of Guyana.
Mr. Gonzalez, who is associated with the RCC, took time to give an overview. He said that they have been dealing since the inception of his role, at least with the RCC, they have dealt with about 300 cases for children. He said that there are about 5 cases currently where children are held for murder and they are not getting any representation.
If you're asking the question how many cases we have dealt with since the project started, you're talking about over 300, right? But 4 murder cases specifically, but there are more murder cases in the system that we are not able to reach them all.
The Juvenile Justice Bill was just discussed in Parliament. It was passed and it awaits the assent of the President, and there are some lively, heated discussions that are going on, and no doubt we at Channel 2 Headline News will follow those discussions wherever they lead. Back to you, George.
Thanks for watching Headline News. Leave a like or a comment below. And for updates on the latest news happening in Guyana, click the subscribe button.